Okay, sir. This is C. Anuradha Krishna, Chairman, Kakinada Branch of SIRC of ICAA. On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAA welcome all the participants in today's webcast on designing the experience for chartered accountants. I also welcome to CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, Chairman, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAA, CS Sripriya Kumar, Vice Chairperson, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAA. And also today's resource person, Mr. Vinay Puskaran, and event enablers, our team, PSN Murthy Garu, Vice Chairman and Secretary, Treasurer Ramana Garu, Mohan Babu Sekasa Chairman, Radha and Gangaram Garu, members of the Kakinada branch of SIRC of ICAA, and other present over here. I, Anuradha Krishna, Chairperson. I am introducing Sripriya Madam Kumar, Vice Chairperson, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAA, before this team. CS Sripriya Kumar, Central Council Member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. She had earlier served as a Central Council Member in 2016-19 also, and in the South Indian Regional Council in 2012-15. She is currently the Chairperson of the Sustainability Reporting Standard Board, ICAA, and also Vice Chairperson of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAA, and Corporate Laws and Corporate Governance Committee of ICAA, and member of various non-standing committee of ICAA. Can I introduce Dr. Anuj Goyal, sir?
So right now, we just go ahead with the introduction of the speaker.
Oh. Sir, I will call the Gangaram Garu for introduction of speaker. Today's speaker, Mr. Vinay Puskaran. Sir, Gangaram Garu.
1 minute, hold on. Sir, the Chairman of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, CA Dr. Anuj Goyal already joined. So that introduce and invite for his speech.
Okay, sir. CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, Central Council Member, 22-25 of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, qualified FCA, FCS, FCMA, MCOM, LLB, PhD, DESA, DIRM. Besides that, he is a 6-time Central Council Member of ICAA since 2004. Chairman, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAA Chairman, Ethical Standard Boards, ICAA. Convener, Publications and CDS Directorate of ICAA. Vice Chairman, Sustainability Reporting Standard Boards. Vice Chairman, Tax Audit Quality Review Board, and members of various non-standing committee of ICAA. He is a dynamic Central Council Member who always with the prime objective to serve the member of ICAA at large and always stand for members of the ICAA. He had earlier served as a Chairman of CIRC of ICAA and in other positioning of CIRC of ICAA, and Chairman in the Ghaziabad branch of CIRC of ICAA before joining to the ICAA Council. Thank you, sir. Now Gangaram Garu.
Can I introduce the speaker?
Yes.
Sir, this is Gangaram, past chairman of the Kakinada branch. Now,
sir, 1 minute, hold on. 1 minute, hold on.
Sure.
Chairman will speak about that. One is about the professional skills enrichment endeavor, and that one is particular about the program. I would like to invite our chairman, CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, for his
Anuj Goyal, sir. Okay. Sure.
Thank you very much. Our event enablers, our very prominent leaders of the profession, and we are of course having our very prominent resource person. So I welcome all of you on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of ICAA in this Diamond Jubilee year of the formation of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. For the first time in the history of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, this Professional Skills Enrichment Committee has come into existence to see that how we can really do something very concrete for the best of the chartered accountants of the world. Today, the final result has been declared, and you will be very happy to know that more than 20,000 chartered accountants have been added to the kitty of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So I will try to communicate to all our honorable members who are present from each and every part of the world that it is not so that our profession the youngsters are not joining. Rather, there is great craze in the youngsters to join the CA profession, and there is great demand of the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, not only in our country but across the globe. And even if we are not in a position to serve them physically in other parts of the world, virtually through knowledge process outsourcing, the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India are serving the needs of the trade and industry in each and every part of the world. But there is great expectations from the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We are having best of the technical skills. We are having best of the practical exposure. This is our USP, as we have undergone our practical training. All others can be on mute, please. P. Mohan Babu sir, you can be on mute, please. And friends, keeping that thing in mind, it was thought fit by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India that we should have the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, in which we should try to see that how we can further enrich the skills of the best of the chartered accountants of the world. And I'm really very happy that we are getting very good response and the pace with which we are going ahead. On 26th of June, we celebrated International MSME Day. The role of the chartered accountants is utmost in the for the micro, small and medium enterprises, and we organize more than 100 programs, physical programs in a single day. And on 15th of July, that is our target, that on International Youth Skill Day, we should organize another 100 physical programs in a single day. So this is the capacity of the profession. This is the capacity of our committee. I am really grateful to Dr. Samit Kumar Misra ji, our dynamic secretary of the committee, for his extraordinary efforts, and Sri Priya ma'am, who is the vice chairperson, for bringing out the concept how we have to go ahead as far as the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee is concerned. And friends, today we are having this very important topic, designing the experiences for chartered accountants. So I don't know what exactly our resource person is going to discuss, because each and everything a chairman of the committee is not supposed to know. But let me tell you, we are having the best of the resource persons, and they are having the best of the expertise, and we are having extraordinary response from the delegates, from the chartered accountants, not only from India but also from each and every part of the world. And I'm quite confident that after the deliberation of our honorable guest speaker, we will be certainly having the best of the expertise. We are having Vinay Pushpakaran, our very prominent resource person. So I welcome Pushpakaran sir and our event enablers from Kakinada branch of Southern region, CAP Anuruddha Krishnan, CAP SN Murthy sir, CAP MV Ramanna sir, CAP Mohan Babu sir, CA Radha Vemparala ma'am, and CA CVN Gangaramji. So I welcome all of you on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and Chairman of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee. I welcome all the delegates who are live with us from each and every part of the country. I will not like to be between Vinay sir and all the delegates. So I once again welcome Vinay sir on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, PSCC Committee. Thank you very much. Over to Gangaramji.
Gangaram garu, introduce the speaker, sir. Today's speaker.
Gangaram, please unmute.
Gangaram garu, please introduce the speaker. Today's speaker.
Sir, it is already unmute, sir. Sir.
So may I request Gangaramji
to
introduce? Yes.
Then Today we are having an excellent speaker, no doubt. Mr. Vinay Pushpakaran is a global keynote speaker, educator, TEDx speaker, and the current president of the Professional Speakers Association of India. With more than 20 years of experience in marketing, brand strategy, and consumer behavior, Vinay helps brands delight their customers. He is a professor of customer centricity at the Great Lakes Institute of Management, Chennai. Now I want to hand over this one and welcome the speaker to give his excellent lecture today on the subject of this professional chartered accountants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gangaram. It's a pleasure and honor to be here with all of you today at this amazing initiative by the ICAI to bring in experts from different fields and enrich the knowledge and wisdom of the entire community, because these initiatives, I believe that they have an exponential value to them. You know, when it happens every week, we don't really notice, but then once it happens, after a period of time, we realize that, wow, how much did I learn from that? So that is the power of these episodes or these sessions that you're organizing. So big salute to the team that's working so hard towards making this happen consistently. I was going through your YouTube handle also. It is impressive the number of topics that you cover there and the kind of value that you're creating for the entire community of ICAI. It's absolutely amazing. So pardon, I'm just recovering from a throat infection, so I have a slightly down throat, but I definitely will do my best to make sure that the session goes fine. So yeah, in fact, I want to start off with a small point that Dr. Goyal said right now, that designing experiences. What does this mean, and what does it have to do with chartered accountants? What does experiences have to do with a CA? Why are we talking about this topic today, and why am I here introducing this topic in a very different way to you? And there is a specific reason for that, and that's what my entire session today is going to be about. The next hour and maybe 20 minutes or hour and 25 minutes, my session is going to be on introducing experiences to you and why those experiences matter in today's world for today's clients and customers. Let me just share my slides, please. Just take a minute. Yeah. Yes. Building lasting client relationships. That's why we are talking about experiences today. Because at the end of the day, what are customer experiences? Customer experiences, put in the simplest way, are how does your client feel after doing business with you, after working with you as a consultant, as in any capacity? How does your customer feel? Does he feel, yes, my work is done, that's it? Does he feel, wow, this person really cares about me, this person knows about the topic, this person really goes out of the way to help me? I am so delighted, I'm so excited, I feel so good working with this individual. So that is the difference that customer experience brings in the world of business today. And it is a huge differentiator. It's a huge differentiator in today's market, that what are other people, what is our competition doing? And what are we doing to differentiate ourselves in the eyes of the competition? At the end of the day, business is not just about doing what we are good at, but it is also about growing. It's also about growing our own market share and growing our own business and building our brand in the market. I presume that all of you who are running businesses of your own, I'm sure you would agree with me that this is one of the most important things for us in our business as a chartered accountant or as someone who's running a team of chartered accountants or running a company of chartered accountants, that we have to grow our business, we have to grow our profitability, and we have to grow our brand. Brand, business, profitability, BBP. All these three have to grow over a period of time. So, what happens when the market starts getting crowded with a lot of competition, a lot of people coming in? How does that affect us? And what is that way that we can that we can outsmart the competition, that we can grow past the competition and build our own brand, build our own growth and business in the market? That is what today's session is all about. What can we do to do that? And who am I to talk about that? So I'll just share a little bit about my journey and why I talk about this particular topic, which I know too many people in the market don't talk about. And especially in India, no, definitely very few people talk about this topic. But then this topic is in the next 10 to 15 years, in the next 10 to 20 years, this topic will be right in the middle of every room in the business. Every business room in the world, this topic will be right in the middle. What is the customer experience that we are creating for our clients? That is why we are talking about this. And why am I doing this? Let's go to a little bit about myself. I'd like to share a bit of my journey, and then after that we move on to the fundamentals of customer experience. And as chartered accountants, what is it that we can do to build a great customer experience for our clients? Why? So that, one, our clients keep coming back to us, stay with us forever, and refer us to more clients. That is why we are talking about this topic today. So I'm a global keynote speaker. I am currently serving as the president of the Professional Speakers Association of India. Now, the Professional Speakers Association of India is a body dedicated to building the profession of speaking, or rather the business of speaking in India. So it's a community of professional speakers, and in fact, a lot of our members are also from the CA community as well. We have members from across different walks of life, and the one thing that is common to all of us in the community is we all want to become professional speakers. We don't just speak for passion; we speak because it's a part of our business, it's a part of our profession. So that's what our community, that's what our association is all about. And we are the country representative of the Global Speakers Federation, which is a body that comprises 17 associations across the world, which includes close to 26 countries. So we are the India representative of the professionals of the Global Speakers Federation. Now, our association is a member of that. So I come with my 20 plus years of experience. Started off in marketing. I started off as a core marketer. I was into brand strategy. I was handling marketing for a group of brands. And throughout my marketing, right from the beginning, when I was in marketing and also in sales, and then after that, I moved completely into marketing, there was that one question that was always bothering me, that, okay, we are talking about taking our product, our brand to the market. All that is fine. But again, why should the customer see me differently? That was my biggest thought. That was my biggest that's one thing that always bothered me, that what is it that we are doing to differentiate ourselves. And as my career moved forward, I realized that the only way that I can have my customers delighted, not satisfied. Please understand the difference. I'm talking about delighted. Satisfied, your customer asks for something, you give your customer that, the customer is satisfied, shakes hands, and then goes. That's satisfaction. But I am talking here about delight, which means what the customer wants from you, you're delivering it. But at the same time, what the customer actually needs but is not able to say, and something that is not even expecting, we anticipate that and deliver that, so that the customer takes notice of us and say, wow, that is an experience. That's something amazing. And this is the brand. This is the person that I want to work with. This is the company that I want to work with. That is why I got so passionate about customer experience. And then when through my in 2010, I left the corporate world. I started my own venture. So I'm a 3 times entrepreneur. So I have I'm a investor in 2 businesses. I run a business full time. So I'm a consultant for organizations, and I also run a public speaking academy here in Chennai. I have a team here that works with close to most of the leading schools and colleges here in Chennai. And we do communication, speaking, debating programs for them, annual programs for them. In fact, we are the pioneers of an annual integrated public speaking program, which is part of this academic curriculum. So children learn speaking right through the year. So the schools that partner with us, we have these programs for them. And of course, I am a consultant on customer experience for organizations. So which means an organization or a business owner who wants to know how can I delight my customer. So they hire me as a consultant and I set the entire process for them. So that's what I do. And yes, I did my first TEDx talk last year. It was on the power of communication. That was my TEDx talk. And I am a visiting professor at the Great Lakes Institute of Management. I teach customer experience and customer centricity there for the corporate learning cell. And my company is Miyagi Learning Solutions. It's a boutique training and consulting firm based in Chennai. And other than this, I'm a short story writer. I love writing short stories. And 4 years back, we published our first co-authored anthology of short stories called Filter Coffee Chronicles. It's a book that's available across all online platforms and Amazon and Flipkart and everywhere. So that's what my journey has been so far. And these are some of the brands that I have that I've been working with. These are some of my clients that I work with. And the one thing that's common among all of them is that I bring in the customer focus and the customer experience into the mix for all these brands. I work with them to help them understand.
నా గొప్ప కాదురా వాడు.
I help them understand their customers, communicate with their customers, and then delight their customers. So that's what I do for these. And these are some of the academic institutions that we work with. So now let's come to the main part of today's session, which is what's so unique about today's customer? Why are we talking about today's customer? What is different about today's customer? Now, today's customer, I call today's customer a 4-dimensional customer. A 4-dimensional customer. It was not like this 10 years back or 20 years back. But today's customer is a 4-dimensional customer. Today's customer is informed. Today's customer has access to information from across the world. Today, it costs an average person 179 rupees to access any information from any part of the world. That's the lowest pack, I believe, for unlimited internet today in the country. So that's what gives access to information from across the world to today's customer. Now, information is strength. So earlier, 20 years back, we would always have one consultant for something. We have one auditor for something. We have one, because we didn't explore beyond. But today we have access to so much information that makes today's customer more informed. Today's customer is more empowered. Now, what gives a person the real power? What makes a person feel empowered? There are a lot of other things, knowledge, skills, yes, but beyond all of that, what empowers a person the most is having choice. Today's customer has choices. Today's customer always has a choice for everything, literally everything, unless we are an apple. If we are an apple, then to buy an iPhone, the customer has to come to us, whatever be the case. But since we are not Apple and we don't have a product which is absolutely not there, not offered by anybody else in the world, there are options. In fact, recently, an acquaintance of a friend of mine, actually, he was looking for a pair of walking shoes. And now most of the shoes, brand shoes, he was flat-footed, and most of the shoes gave him pain in the foot, and he was not able to do that. And he was considering to, when he was doing research, he found out there's a brand of a shoe which is available in Germany. Germany, by the way. It's available in Germany. It's not one of the big brands there, but it is slightly more expensive than India. He placed the order online and he got the shoes delivered in close to 3 weeks' time. 21 days. He got the shoes delivered to his home here in Chennai, in Arepuram, to be precise. So a person today can order a pair of shoes from Germany. That is choice. There used to be a time when if we have to order something or buy something, we always depended on that one person whose word we believed. Today, we take options and opinions and from all across the world, and we also look on Amazon. I'm sure that there are a lot of us who go to a Amazon website when you go to an outlet and just check the pricing of that. That's power. So today's customer is more informed, more empowered, impatient. Today's customer cannot wait. I'm sure all of you agree, or all of you who work with customers, that today's customer wants what he wants yesterday. Which means that today's customer wants you to keep what he wants ready. Today's customer does not like waiting. And that is a huge factor in today's business, because impatience, today's customer feels that there are brands, there are companies that are delivering it fast. Why can't you? And today's customer is demanding. Today's customer is not happy with the bare minimum. Today's customer is not happy with average. Today's client wants unique, wants personalized, wants special, and he wants it yesterday. That's how fast he wants it. These are the 4 dimensions of today's client. All of us who deal with clients, these are 4 elements of a client. And when I did a research among financial advisors and investment bankers and investment experts, and I spoke to close to 75 to 80 people in the last about 6-7 months back. And I did a research for that because I was very curious to understand how the industry functioned. And I got to know that holding on to a client today is getting more and more harder than it was before, because today's clients, number one, they take longer to confirm. They don't trust you at face value. They always do their own homework, and it takes much harder to convince and persuade a client. Now, these are some points that came up from that research, and that reaffirms my thought in the concept of the 4-dimensional customer. In fact, let me share a small incident that happened in my own house, actually. So this was right after the lockdown. I think this was in 21 or 22. So during the lockdown, my mother learned how to use the Instamart app to place orders on the for groceries and household products, and she would put the things in the basket, make a payment using Google Pay, and then the products would reach home. Now, one day when I was working, I saw her walking around the house very upset and very irritated. So I asked that, Amma, what happened? Why are you looking so upset? So she said, I booked a home cleaning service on Urban Clap. Now, she had recently, after Instamart, she had recently learned how to use Urban Clap as well to book house cleaning and all those things. So she had just booked an order on that. So I said, okay, so what? But then today we are having some guests coming home. Okay. So I canceled the order. I said, Acha, theek hai, that's you cancel the order, that's good. So, no, but money is not back in the account yet. I said, when did you cancel the order? He said, half an hour back. So it will come by today evening. She said, today evening? Why today evening? What are they doing with my money till today evening? Instamart, when you cancel the order, the money gets refunded within half an hour. why are these people taking so much time? I said, Amma, they are two different companies, two different brands, like there's a difference there. So, but she said, but they are both, this is all your, what you call it, your online money, digital money, right? Same thing only, right? Same, your technology and all that you say it is the same, right? Then why are they keeping my money for longer? I did not have an answer for that. And that reinforced the fact that today's customer doesn't just compare us with competition. Today's customer compares us with any other service provider who is on any different function of the business. Somebody sends a proposal faster than us. That person could be a very different service provider, maybe a marketing consultant, maybe a social media agency. Doesn't matter. But if they could send a proposal in 24 hours, why can't you send a proposal in 24 hours? That's what the customer asks. So today's customer is empowered, informed, impatient, and demanding. Today's customer is a 4-dimensional customer. Now, what does this 4-dimensional customer want? Today's 4-dimensional customer wants 4 things. The customer wants to be understood, to be informed. This is different. I'll explain that. Today's customer wants to be understood, wants to be informed, kept informed, wants to be in control, and wants to be secure. All these 4 things are the top priorities of today's customers. Now, all of us who are in we are doing different jobs, we're working, either we are working for different companies or we are running our own businesses. But at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, when we take off our business hat, what are all of us? We are all customers. We are all customers for different brands, different services, different products. So these 4 needs that a customer has, or the wants that a customer has, are things that we also have as customers. We want to be understood. We want to be informed. We want to be in control. And we want to be secure. Understood, which means that as a consultant, as an auditor, you have to understand me. You should not make life difficult for me. That's what the customer is telling us without telling us. Number 2, don't think that I don't know anything. So keep me informed. Tell me what is the problem. Tell me what are the issues here. Don't keep things from me. Be transparent with me, and I will trust you and respect you more. That's what today's customer is telling us, that keep me informed. Don't keep things for me. If you're calling me for an appointment and you think that I will have to wait for 45 minutes, just let me know that I will have to wait for 45 minutes. Do not take me and my time and my knowledge level for granted. That's what today's customer is saying and telling us. Today's customer wants to be in control. That's why today more and more people are learning how to use apps, how to check their own accounts, how to do that, because they don't want to depend on an external agency. They want to be in control. Today's customer wants to be in control. Today's customer wants to be secure. Now, safety is a huge concern for today's customer, because today people know that as technology enters our lives, invades our lives, gets into our lives, there is always a fear that, oh, will my information be leaked, or will my information be stolen? Will my money be stolen? Will I be taken advantage of? All these are fears in the minds of common people. So what can we as business owners, as chartered accountants, as service providers, what can we do to put that fear to rest? That's a question that I want to leave at the end of this slide, because today's customer wants to be understood, informed, in control, and secure. As service providers, what can we do to understand our customer, keep our customer informed, make our customer feel in control of his affairs, and make our customer feel safe and secure? These are 4 things that are the top 4 priorities of today's customer. So as service providers, as people who are looking at designing an experience for the customers, please always remember these 4 points. These are very, very critical points. having these points at the back of our mind makes us be conscious and mindful when we are working closely with a customer. Now let's come to what is customer centricity, which means what is the customer centric way of doing business? All of us are doing business, and there is a customer centric way of doing business, and there is a non-customer centric way of doing business, for lack of a better word. So what is the customer centric way of doing business? A very, very simple definition that I would like to share with you here. The ability of a business or of a consultant to understand their customers' situations, perceptions, and expectations. SPE. I want to leave these three words in your mind. The ability of a business to understand customers' situations, perceptions, and expectations. All three. The ability of a business. That's one part of it. The second part of it. And then putting the customer at the heart of all the decisions that are related to the way we deliver our services and our experiences. Which means whenever we add a new process or a way of doing business, always ask that one question to yourself. This new process, how will it affect my customer's life? If the answer is negative, then we have to work upon that. That's the customer-centric way of doing business, which means whatever we do, whatever we, whatever changes we make, how is it going to affect my customer's life? If it's positive, it's amazing. If it's no impact, can be considered. If it's negative, never ever. No way ever. So that has to be, that is the customer-centric way of doing business. Now, why are we doing this? To create customer delight, customer loyalty, and customer fandom. Fandom is the topmost position of the customer pyramid. It's the top. Ideally, we would want all our clients to become our fans. The way we are fans of, of actors. So similarly, yes, fandom is a very, very relevant concept in the world of business also. When you have clients, you may not have too many fans, you may have a lot of clients, but you may have a handful of fans. And those handful of fans will keep bringing you new customers, keep talking about you everywhere. Those are the kind of fans, those are the people who are at the top of your customer pyramid. And that is what creating customer delight and loyalty are all about. They take a person from a customer to make that person a fan. That is the customer-centric way of doing business. Now, there are some negative myths that people talk about in the market about customer centricity. I wanted to just take a few minutes to clear them off. Number one, customer centricity is only for hospitality and services like hotels and restaurants and all. Absolutely wrong and false. Today, customer centricity and customer experience are for every single business that has at least one customer. So if you have at least one client, customer centricity is for you. Period. There are no two ways about it. Now, this is another thing that I hear a lot, that customer centricity means always saying yes to whatever the client asks. Do you think so? Definitely not. Definitely not. Customer centricity does not mean saying yes to whatever the customer asks for. No. Because that way, you don't have a business for too long if you say yes to everything the customer wants. 3. Customer centricity or customer experience is only about service. No. Service is one very important part of it, but that's not the only thing. There are a lot of other things also involved in that. Service is one very important part. It's a big part of it, but that's not the only part. Customer experience is expensive. Designing experiences for customers is a very, very experienced thing. No, it will not work for me. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. Absolutely wrong. Customer experience is not expensive. Customer experience requires thought more than investment. Sometimes, yes, you might have to invest a little bit, yes, to put up maybe new systems or technologies or, system or people in place, but it's not expensive. Because you as an individual, as a business owner, as a service provider, you can deliver a great customer experience at very, very low cost and sometimes even not spending anything at all. That's still possible. And last one, that customer experience is a one-time effort. Definitely not. Most definitely not. Customer experience is not a one-time effort. It takes consistency. It's not that, okay, I do these 1, 2, 3 things. Now I'm a customer-centric brand. I'm a customer-centric business. Absolutely no. Your clients start seeing or feeling the experience that you're creating only when you do it time and again consistently. Consistency is the key. The most important vitamin, I say, for customer experience is vitamin C, consistency. So without vitamin C, your customer experience would be like a nice firecracker. So when it burst, everybody saw that. Wow, kya baat hai, bahut badhiya hai, sahi hai. People clapped, and then after that they forgot about it. No, we don't want that, right? Definitely not. Customer experience works when we implement it on a consistent, regular basis, time and again and again and again. That's what customer experience is all about. Now, these are 5 myths that I wanted to first throw it out of the window before moving. Now, why are we talking about customer? What are the benefits of customer experience? Well, more revenues. I don't have to tell you that. Delighted customers keep coming back, keep spending more with you, and keep bringing you more business. Your revenue increases. Customer experience increases your profitability also, because when your referral business increases, your marketing cost does not increase. It stays low or goes down. So obviously your profitability goes up. So customer experience is very, very healthy for your bottom line, for your profitability. Brand reputation. Imagine when that in a room full of potential entrepreneurs or potential clients, one person, one happy customer says that, you want to hire a CA for your business, contact this man. You can't think beyond him. I know him for the last 5 years, and the way he's, delivered his services, I can tell you there's nobody like him. Just imagine a customer saying like this about you in a room full of people. That's the power of customer experience. When you design amazing experiences, then your brand reputation grows. People start knowing more and more people start knowing about you. More and more people start talking about you. And that takes your brand value up. And what happens when your brand value goes up? You can charge higher premium prices. You can charge higher commercials. So again, your revenue goes up, your profitability goes up. Brand differentiation, which means that now the market knows why you're different from the others. That's differentiation. When you deliver a great experience and there are amazingly delighted customers all around and they're talking about you, people know that you are not one among many. You are unique. And that is what experiences do. Creating great experiences for customers do. Again, higher share of wallet, easy, obviously. So if I trust you and you've been delivering great service for me, and in the future, I need something additional that only a CA can provide me, who do you think I will come to first? Obviously you. I'll first ask you, can you do this for me? Only if you say no, will I even think about anybody else. So which means that, that in the future, when my wallet increases, which means my higher share of the wallet will always come to you first than to anybody else. So that's again possible only if you deliver a great experience. Again, that's a no-brainer. Obviously, if you're delighting me every single time, you're giving me a great experience, then why will I go to somebody else? Why will I even look at any other option? That's the whole point, right? So in today's market, loyalty comes with a premium because there are so many options available. What are we doing to get our hands on that customer loyalty? One of the easiest ways to do that is delivering a great experience, not a great transaction alone. Transactions are important. Yes, signing on the dotted line is important, but when you stop at a transaction, you are seen as just a service provider and you're forgotten. Add experiences into the business. How do we do that? We'll come to that. So now we know why we're talking. Now, before this, we did about what is, to take a small recap of this first part of the session, we spoke about why today's customer is different. What is a 4-dimensional customer? What does a 4-dimensional customer expect? Then after that, we spoke about what are 5 myths or wrong notions that people think about customer experience. We threw those notions outside the window. Then we spoke about why should we invest our time and effort in building a great customer experience. And I'm here giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big reasons. 6 big reasons why designing experiences is so important. Now, let's move to the next part, which is let's see how we can create a great customer experience or put customer centricity into action. Okay. Now this triangle is the most important part of today's session that I wanted to share with you and talk to you about. The CTX triangle, which means the customer experience triangle, or it's the same thing. I'm using customer centricity and customer experience in the same meaning because from our business, from a CA's world, from a CA's business point of view, they both mean the exactly same thing. So the customer centricity triangle or the CTX triangle, when this is the way that you can start designing experiences for your business. Okay, it's a simple 3-step process, a very, very simple 3-step process. The first step, know your customer. The second step, map your touch points. Third step, optimize the experience. Now, what are we talking about all these 3? So I will look into each of these things one by one. So first of all, know your customer. Now, let's look at first, what is the knowing our customer that we are talking about? How do we know our customer? Now, when you meet a new customer, and the customer is working with you, you get to know a few things, you get to know some of the details. But one thing which is very common is when we approach a new client or when we sign up a new client, most of the information that we are collecting is required for compliances or required to safeguard our interest. That's mostly the kind of information that we collect. We collect the name, we collect address proofs, and we collect things and so on and so forth. And we collect only that information which is just barely needed to complete the transaction. What is the basic minimum requirement that I need to know from the customer? That's what I'm coming to know. Now, here, there are a lot more things that we can get to know about the customer. Now, of course, we know the age, gender, income, the geographic location. These are basic things. These are things that we are already collecting, or when we are signing up a client, we are collecting this information. This is a very common thing. But what more than this? Now, I'm going to share some things which I found very relevant. And in my experience that in your industry, these are things which make a big difference to understanding our customers. One of them is technology preferences. How comfortable is your customer using technology? I'm sure you will have clients, some of who are very tech savvy, who are who have apps for everything on their phone, who have everything, through internet, and who barely go to a, who barely want to do something physically. They all want all transactions to happen digitally. So on the other hand, you'll have some customers who are still prefer the old school paperwork and say that, yeah, this is what I feel most comfortable with. Those technology preferences are important for us to know and note. We may not ask the person directly, but then we may observe, and a few questions to ask the customer that, would you prefer to get an email update? Would you prefer to get an email update, or would you prefer to get or would you prefer a physical copy of the report or whatever? So all those details. Now, these things are not things that often come up in questioning, but as someone who's looking at delivering a great experience, technology preferences is an important element of that experience that you want to create. So this is an important information that you can collect from customers. Big time attitudes. You have to note people's attitudes. You have to make a note of them. You can't just ignore them. You can't just overlook them. You have to note, you have to observe and make a note of people's attitudes. You would find that and this is this is putting a bit of psychology out here. When you're observing the attitudes of your customers, of your clients who are there, whom you interact with daily, you will find multiple categories of people there. There'll be that one category of clients who are very, very laid back, and they will be, easy to deal with. They are never in a hurry. You can take your own time. They will not even follow up. Sometimes they will call, and so on and so forth. But there will also be certain other clients who will be following up with you like crazy, who would be absolutely making life difficult for you. There would be some customers who are very sensitive. There'll be some customers who like to talk a lot. There'll be some customers who don't even want to talk a lot. I'm sure that you are working with clients of all these attitudes. Now, after technology preferences, attitudes is a very important factor to observe, note, and keep in our mind for customers. All these points that I'm sharing here right now are to help us understand our customer. Know your customers. This section, this corner of the triangle is all about understanding our customer. So in this, we are let's look at the next point. Now, the next point is personal preferences. Now, personal preferences of customers is something that you get to know when you have long conversations with your customers. Now, some of them what I mean by personal preferences here is that what are some of their, goals? What are the things that they are, that they want to achieve in life? What are the things what are the values that they hold very close to themselves? These are all, when I say personal, means related to that individual person. It's different from attitude. Attitude is often a behavior, but preferences are mindsets. Okay, attitude is behavior. Preferences are often mindsets. That there'll be some people who are very God-fearing, big believers, and now it's important for you to know which customer is, has what kind of preferences. It's important. It's important because when you want to build a long-term relationship with a client, getting to know more and more about the client is an extremely important part. It's a very, very important thing. And then after that comes milestones. Milestones, very, very important, which means that you need to keep a close track of milestones that your customer is achieving. Are there any personal or professional achievements that he has had recently? Are there any milestones that he has touched recently? Has he, maybe his son or daughter has, achieved a centum in their board exam, or they've gotten admission somewhere, or moments to celebrate, or milestones in their life. Maybe they've been wanting to buy a house for a very long time, and they have recently booked a house. So these are milestones that's very important for you as a service provider to know, so that you can always bring it up in conversations to congratulate them or inquire about them. And these are ways that you build stronger rapport and relationship with your customers. These are this section, this slide that I'm doing, all these are your tools. These are tools that you get. These are your tools to build a powerful relationship with the customer, which is very strong and long-standing. That's important here. So after milestones, transactions and interactions. Yes. What are the kind of transactions that this customer prefers? How does this customer interact? Does this person, always believe in having phone conversations? Does this person all prefer WhatsApp chats? Does this person prefer in-person meetings and visits? Does this person need frequent updates? Does this person need one update only in 6 months? Does this person need a proper detailed report update, or does this person need only the bullet point summary? These are the interaction parameters that you have to keep in mind. When you're creating an experience, these are all information which is not mandatory to do your business transaction with the client. No. These are, this information is important when you want to create an experience, design an experience for your client. That's the reason why we are looking at these factors here. And last one, relationships, very important. Now, what kind of relationships does this person believe in having? In the sense that, what I mean by here is that, does this person want to treat us as just a service provider, or can this person, we can build a long-standing rapport? Is the person directly involved? Is it directly involved in the transactions or in the business, or he is delegating somebody else to take care of it? Is he not directly into it? He has too many things. He's too busy, doesn't have time. So you will have to evaluate that person based on the kind of relationship that you have to nurture with the person. It's a very important factor. It's a very small, little subtle thing, which often lies under the surface. Okay, it lies very under the surface, but with a sharp eye, you can always spot that. You can always spot that and use that to your advantage. That's the important thing. Use that to your advantage. You can then make them feel that, wow, this, you are looking at something which is fast. I will deliver something which is fast to you. You are looking at something which is, you want to spend a lot of time talking, then I understand that's your need there. So those are things very, very, very important here. So these are those 10 factors that we should always have. The first four, anyways, I'm sure you know, or you're collecting, but the remaining 6 are very important because they help us make the customer feel great. That's the important thing. Make the customer feel great about working with us. So how do you go about doing that? Always have there are so many apps and softwares available for that. I use the Zoho CRM, and there are so many other softwares also that are available. You can do that, or a simple Excel sheet per customer is also enough. Even if not an Excel sheet, a simple notepad with a page where you make exclusive detailed notes about each customer. You are noting them down. That's also enough. So this is how but that initiative has to happen from your end. You have to take that initiative to collect that information, all these points of information, and make detailed notes about the client. The more you know about the client, the better you can serve the client. And the better you can serve the client, the more in-depth experience you can create for the client. So I hope this point, the first corner of the triangle, is clear now. And now let's move on to the next corner of the triangle, which is map your touch points. I know this initially doesn't, what does this mean? What do you mean by touch points? So now, what are touch points? Now, touch points in the customer journey mapping. Let's first see what is the journey that an average customer goes through us. Okay, the first step in that journey, I'm gonna take you through an entire journey of how a customer comes to know about you, becomes your customer, and then later on becomes your loyal customer and fan. Okay, so this is important from that. Now, what is awareness? Awareness is the first stage of the customer journey where customer becomes aware that you exist in the market. Okay. Which means that, yes, I need this service and I know that you are there. Do I trust you? No. Do I know details about you? No. But I know that among all the other people, you are also there. Awareness. Before this stage, customer does not know that you're there. Now, how does the customer get to know about you? Maybe through your social media posts, maybe through your YouTube videos, maybe through events like this, where you have people coming from all parts of the country. Your marketing, your visibility building exercises in marketing build your awareness level in this stage, which means you get to the point where people know you. That's not enough. Now let's go to the next step. Now, the next step is connection. Now, after being aware, the customer connects with you. Now, how do they connect with you? Do they call you? Maybe. Do they send you a WhatsApp message? Maybe. Sometimes, maybe in corporates, maybe in corporate clients, they may send you an email also, right? Now, there's a big difference between awareness and connection stage. Awareness stage, the customer knows that you are there. Connection stage, customer has shortlisted you among others. There are other people also the customer might be considering, but you are there. That is why the customer has contacted you to know more about you. This is the first time when the customer is now putting you one step closer to them. Okay, this is the connection stage of the customer journey. Now, after connection stage, consideration phase. Now, customer has removed a lot of options, and now customer has maybe 2 to 3 final options to work with. One is you. Now, in this case, customer is now doing deep research about you, not from you, but from outside. They might ask your existing clients, they might go through Google reviews, they might see what people are talking about you on social media. They can choose whichever way. We don't know. But every possible way, they will try to find out about you. If you have come through a very strong reference or somebody's referral, then this stage becomes a little easy. Because among the consideration, you already come with a strong referral of somebody they know, then they trust you faster. The purpose of this one is to build trust. The purpose of connection stage is to gain more information. The purpose of consideration stage is build trust. That can I trust this person? There are 3 options. Why should I trust this person more than the others? Now, what happens after that? Now, here, trust is built. Customer has seen something, heard something, talked to someone, whatever. Customer has now decided that you are the one. You're the one that I'm going to go ahead with. You know, among all the options, you're the one that I like, and this is what I'm going to do. Now, this is the conversion stage. This is the stage, this is our happy stage. This is a stage where we have won the customer over, won the client over. Now here, what is important? How soon can I convert that trust to signing on the dotted line? What can I do to speed it up so that now the customer has made up his mind? Let me quickly sign him up. So the speed and the process are important. The purpose of this is help the customer come on board fast. That's what conversion stage is all about. After conversion stage, onboarding stage. Now customer has agreed and come on board with you. Now what happens after this? Now after this is the onboarding stage, which means that you now onboard the customer in terms of all the paperwork and everything, and explain to the customer about how you're going to serve, what are the terms of service, what are the deliverables, what is the frequency of updates, all that. How often will you call him? Will there be a dedicated person to handle your account? What are the things that the customer will get once when starting out? So that's the process of onboarding. Now, in onboarding process, in conversion process, it is about speed. Onboarding process is about detailing. Because what happens is that whenever someone makes a decision, it's just basic consumer psychology. Whenever someone makes a decision to buy something or to commit to a contract or something, in that small little time after making the decision, the customer goes through something known as a buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse means that, oh my God, will I regret buying this? I'm sure, when you bought a expensive home appliance or maybe you booked a service or something, and you're worried that, oh, did I make a wrong decision? Okay. Because now your family and your friends and everyone and your colleagues in your office, your reporting manager, if need be, all of them are now, they're looking at you that, oh, he has found one, but now you're thinking that what if this doesn't turn out good? All these people will then blame me. So this is that one point where you are now trying to find reasons to validate the decision. Conversion was a decision. Now the customer is looking for reasons to validate the decision during the onboarding process. So this is the process. Now I see a lot of service providers, lot of CAs get this process wrong there, because once the customer comes on board, the level of interaction, the level of service comes down. That's in today's world, that is such a dangerous thing. In fact, what should happen after conversion is that our level of interaction and level of service should go up 3x. 3 times it should go up. That's how powerful. You have to create that feeling in the customer that, wow, I have made a right decision. Man, this is the perfect guy to work with. This is the perfect company to work with. That is what we have to do as business owners in onboarding. Now, what happens after onboarding? Now customer is onboarded, customer is now connected with you, and business as usual, BAU, is happening. Now here is where the customer is expecting service. Are you serving him? What is the service you're providing? Now here you need to put in place a process where the service standards are, set. It cannot be that on in a morning your service levels are different and evening it's different. No. On a busy day it's different and on a free day it's different. Consistent service standards are absolutely mandatory in today's world. You have to have consistent service standards. It's not just good enough to have one great service on a day and then after that we completely forget about that. No, definitely not. Now, consistent service standards makes the customer feel that they have made the right decision and they want to stay. This is the place where you make the customer feel comfortable. Let them sit on the sofa. Let them be comfortable. This is the point where they should leave all their worries and things aside and say, I've got the perfect person to manage my business. Now, after this, after service, what happens after service? Now, technically speaking, the entire journey can stop right here at service. Then why are we going to engagement? Because if we keep doing the same thing again and again alone, where are we setting ourselves apart? Where's our difference coming in? Where's our X factor, our wow, aha moment coming in? That's an engagement, which means what is it that we are doing, which the market is not doing to serve our existing customers? Very simple. Can we invite some of our key clients for a dinner meeting? Can we invite our key clients for, maybe I got a pass for an event. Can I share that pass with 10 of my top customers who might be very interested in that event? What are those unique things that we can do to engage one more level deeper with the customer, one more level deeper? Services at the surface. That's good. That's needed. That's not light. That is needed. That's important. But one step further. One step further is engagement. Now, engagement is the point where customer feels that they are getting something extra. Okay. In service stage, you made the customer feel comfortable and relaxed, and now I've got trust and I can forget about it. In engagement, you're making the customer take notice that, wow, this is an expert that I want to work with. This is a consultant that I want to work with. This is a CA that I want to work with. This guy is amazing. Then comes feedback. Now here, this is an important part of the customer journey mapping. Sometimes things may not go as per plan. There would be difficult moments and there would be a point where the customer will give you feedback. That's fine. But when customer does not give you feedback, you have to take the initiative to take feedback from the customer. Because as time goes by, we tend to get into that habit that it's all okay, it's all good, it's all fine. Now, why do we want to disturb, people who are comfortable? No. Do not take comfortable people for granted. Always seek feedback. Ask them what are they enjoying in the service? What are the things that they feel could be done better? Take feedback. When you take feedback from somebody, especially your customer, they feel understood. They feel important. They feel heard. That's what we want. That's what feedback does. Seek feedback. Seek feedback. How am I doing, sir? Can you tell me the things that I'm doing right? Can you tell me the things that I could do better? Out of 10, maybe 6 may not tell you anything. They'll say, then nothing, everything is fine here, no problem at all. 4 will give you. And if those 4 talk about a common thing, for all you know, that common thing might be a problem with the other 6 also, but they overlooked that because they're very comfortable. That's an opportunity for you to get better at what you do. Take your game to the next level. Now, after taking feedback, after implementing feedback, then comes, this is the part where, the experience is now starting to yield results, because in this entire journey, you have been delivering a great experience to the customer. And now customer is starting to refer you. Now, there is a role that you also have to play here. Sometimes customers can refer you on their own. In fact, it happens when you deliver a great experience, people will refer you, no doubt about it. But sometimes people are busy, people forget, people are, distracted. Sometimes you have to ask for referrals. But you have to ask for referrals at this stage. If you ask for referrals after conversion, nobody will give you. You ask referrals after feedback, you get genuine referrals, and you get referrals of people where the customer is actually saying, trust this person, trust this person. Don't look anywhere else, trust this person. That's the kind of referral that you want to get. So sometimes customer will give you referrals. Sometimes you have to ask for referrals. Both are equally important. Okay. So don't always wait for the customer to give you referrals. Go ahead and ask referrals. Would you know of someone who would be requiring my services, someone in your circle? If there is somebody, please do put in a word. Put that in the minds of people. Many a times people tend to forget or overlook. Don't give them that opportunity to overlook. Now, after referrals comes the fandom. Now, this is the phase which all of us dream about. This is the phase where, amazing things are happening because your customer is now your biggest fan. What do you do here? Here, you give them a very special treatment, which means that identify the people in your client base who are your absolute fans. How do you know them? They always, they're always very happy to meet you, see you, talk to you. Getting an appointment with them is always the easiest. They are inviting you to their events. They're always looking forward to interact with you. They are now friends, and they're saying good things about you. Identify those people. Keep an eye open for them. And when you identify those people, create something unique. Create something unique for them. Can you do something special for them? Can you make it a point that maybe, there would not be too many fans there. So can you do something to make them feel absolutely special? Maybe a very unique industry report on something that only you have access to. Can you share that in a small format or a summary to those people? Give them something. Give them, don't expect anything in return. Just reward them for their loyalty and their fandom. Reward them. Don't expect anything in return. Just reward them. It's the point where your fans start bringing you exponential referral business, organic growth, brand reputation, all the good things start coming to you, not at 1x, 3x and 5x and 10x, because word spreads. One happy man's word spreads across the world. These are the 10 phases of the customer journey mapping that I wanted to take time on this, because this is a very important part of this session today, because you can delight a customer only when you know the customer's journey. This is the journey of a client that with you. 8 steps of the journey, and you have a role to play in each step, each and every step. That's the step. Now, when you're doing this, you will encounter 4 problematic buying behaviors. Okay, so customer journey map. So first we did know your customer, which means understand what the customer wants, understand the customer, and we are looking at those 10 points that we need to know. Next step, now we know the customer, let's look at the customer journey map. Now we know the journey map, starting from awareness and everything, all that is happening. Now, those are the 10 steps that you do to that. Okay, now I know the journey map. Now, what do I do after that? Okay, that's an important thing. Now, these are 4 problems that you will face from time to time with customers. I just wanted to include this in today's session, because when you're designing experiences, these 4 behaviors you will often encounter. Number 1, status quo bias. Status quo bias means sometimes you'll meet customers who are very afraid of change. For them, change means pain. They're very happy with the way things are for them. They don't want to change anything. They just want to continue the way things are going. That's called status quo bias. So you will meet customers who don't want to change a particular way of doing something. But sometimes for your business and for their growth together, you will have to change the way they do things. What do you do about those people? For customers who are facing the status quo bias, simplify the process. I call it make it like water. Make it like water. Make the process so simple. You do the extra effort to make it simple for them. When you go to a bank and when you're filling up a form, these days, some of the banks, they tell you that, sir, you don't have to need anything. You just come with your ID card and we'll take care of everything. All the documents they fill up. In fact, they give you that form with that small little cross made with a pencil on that and say, just sign here. These are all things that are tackling the status quo bias in customers' mind. Oh my God, I have to now fill an entire form. This is like very tiring. I'll do it later. Because when status quo bias happens and people have to do something, they always keep postponing it. Bad for us, bad for the business. So that is status quo bias. Second, loss aversion. This is very important. Now, loss aversion means that this is again an element of customer psychology, that customers are more scared of making loss than they are more attracted towards making a gain, which means they're okay with not making a profit. They are not okay with making a loss. You'll find some customers who have very high level of loss aversion. They always want to play safe. They always want to play defensive. Now, you will find this often among some of your clients will exhibit this particular behavior for sure. Now, for these kind of customers, you have to assure them. They need reassurance. They need, you have that friend who will always, put an arm around us and say, like everything will be okay, ella okay, no problem at all, sab theek ho jayega. They will say that. That's the kind of approach that we need to give a customer like this, who's worried about making a loss, who's worried that he will lose something, either money, either something else, either time. So these customers, loss aversion customers, need reassurance. Status quo bias customers need ease and simplicity. Okay. Third is decision paralysis. Decision paralysis happens mostly because of 2 reasons. When there are too many options or there are too many people. These are the two reasons why most times decisions don't get taken. This is especially true for organizations. When you're dealing with retail clients, when you're dealing with corporate clients, when you're dealing with companies, you will find this in several situations. That sometimes there are too many options on the table. People are confused. People don't take decisions. One. Number two, a lot of people and influencers are involved in the decision making, and the matter stays on the table. So this has to be sorted. When you have too many decisions on the table, as an expert, you have to, this is where you provide your personal experience. That in my experience, this is where you give quality advice. You have to be the advisor here. Okay, you have to be an advisor in the decision paralysis stage. Too many options, you have to give them advice that, in my opinion, this is a better option for you. Don't consider those. These two are better options. You can make the decision making easier for them. In the case there are too many people, always focus on 1:1. 1:1 interaction. You can never convince a group of people at the same time. You have to convince them one after the other. So you have to meet them one after the other as an advisor and speak only the language of the person that is listening to you. And when you're trying to convince 4 people, meet each of those 4 people individually and separately. That's the best way to tackle decision paralysis. So in status quo bias, you ease it up and simplify it. Loss aversion, you reassure. Decision paralysis, you become the advisor. And last one, early influence. Sometimes there will be some customers who are not ready to do business with you yet. Okay. So now these customers, when they become ready to do business with you, or rather when they become ready to do business, they always go on early influence, which means that they think, okay, they close their eyes and wonder, okay, who are the people? So I need someone to do my audit. I need someone to do my audit. So till now it was being done by one of my employees. Now he's quit. Now I need an external auditor, or now I need a auditor. Now I need somebody, an accountant from outside. What do I do? Immediately they'll close their eyes and think, okay, who are the people that I know? The first people they contact will be the people they know. If they know you, you would be the first person to get a call from them in those situations. So what does this mean? In early influence, you focus on relationship, build relationships with people, build rapport with people. Even if they are not ready to do business with you yet, build rapport with people. In whatever way possible, serve them, stay connected with them, wish them, remain in their mind. That's the important part here. Remain in the minds of customers. These are 4 buying behaviors. I included that in this session because this is an important part of it. So these are 4 different behaviors you will find among customers. And it's important that you tackle each of these behaviors in an adequate, correct manner. So then you can convert that to a very positive experience for the customer. This is also adding to the experience. So now, to sum it up, look at the triangle again. Know your customer, 10 things. We spoke about it, technological preferences, attitudes, milestones. We spoke about everything. Then we spoke about mapping touch point. We spoke about the customer journey, the 10-step customer journey, and we discussed how that helps us fine-tune our actions at each step. And we also spoke in this about the 4 kinds of buying behaviors that people have and how we can convert it in our favor. That's map to touch points. Now let's come to the last part of the triangle because we are nearing the end of the session. So let's look at the last part of the triangle, which is optimize the experience. This is where we are delivering the actual experience. Now, how do we do that? It is not rocket science. It is not magic. It's a very, very simple formula that I'm going to share with you here. I call it the SPE formula. The customer experience. Now, where does the SPE formula fit in? Customer experience is equal to E of P1 into E of P2 into E of P3. Now, what are these? P1, P2, and P3 are the different touch points in the customer journey. So P1 could be the awareness point. P2 could be the consideration point or connection point. P3 could be the feedback point. P4 could be the loyalty point or whatever. All these are different touch points. Now, E of P1 means the experience you're creating at the awareness stage, experience you're creating at the onboarding stage, experience you're creating at the conversion stage, experience you're creating at the service stage. All of it multiplied is the total experience that you're designing for yourself as a brand, for your company as a brand. That's the experience that you're creating. Now, I could have easily made it plus. Why am I choosing to put it as multiplied here? Because when you create experiences, you do not get 3 plus 4 plus 5. 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 12. No, you get 3 into 4 into 5. You get 60. That's because you get multiplied exponential results. Exponential results is what you get when you deliver a great customer experience. A great customer experience leads to exponential results. And that is important here. That's important. Now, secondly, after that, now let's look at how do you create a great experience at each touch point? Sorry. This is the SPE formula that I was talking about. A great experience for a customer is speed, convenience, personalization. This is not about marketing. This is not about referrals. This is purely about delivering a great experience to the customers. How do you put E of P1 as great? Now, here in the previous equation that we spoke about here, one more reason why I'm using a multiplication sign here is because if even one of this is 0, your entire experience becomes 0. Your entire experience becomes 0. That's the problem there. So which is why you have to be careful about every place that a customer interacts with you. Now, how do we create a great experience? The SPE formula, which means speed, personalization, and convenience. So speed, today's customer, we spoke about what the customer needs today. So what does today's customer need? Today's customer needs speed. Is there something that I can do to make this particular service of mine faster? Can I do it faster by maybe 10%? Maybe 1 hour, maybe 1 day? I don't know. Speed is something which is a very, very high on priority requirement of a customer. People want things fast today. So speed. Now, speed could be in action. Speed could be in information. Speed could be in action. Speed could be in information. Second, convenience. Now, can I make at least one small part of this process more convenient for my customer? Can I make a small part of this process more convenient for my customer? Now, here, what are the things that can make an experience convenient? That for a particular thing, if the customer has to create 4 pieces of paperwork or 3 pieces of paperwork, can I reduce it by 1? Can I help him out with that? Can I use a digital service provider for that? Can I make my client's life easier? Can I make my client's life easier when it comes to that particular process? That's convenience. And third, personalization. Today's customer wants personalized service. Now, personalized service means that you refer to them as individuals. You give them individual service as much as possible. I know it's not 100% possible, but where are those places where we can create an individual feeling, an personalized feeling for that customer? These are the 3 things: the speed, personalization, and convenience, the SPC. Now here, what are those 3 things that I can do? Now, each touch point of your business, you should be able to optimize at least one of this. Maybe I can make it faster, or make it more convenient, or make it more personalized. All 3, great. But all threes doesn't really happen in most practical cases. But at least one. Look at all the processes today. In fact, that's something that I wanted to, the thought that I wanted to leave today after today's session was that when you're looking back at your business after this session, see which is that one touch point in your business where you can optimize one of these things. Can you make it faster, more convenient, more personalized? Look at least one of it in each touch point. Your experience that you're creating for your customers will go up multiple notches, because that's what the industry is doing today. Today, the industry is doing that. In fact, I'm going to share a case. I'm going to share a case study, an example with you right after this of someone who's absolutely, like, smashing it on all these three ways, because that makes a difference. That makes a huge difference. So please remember these three elements of a optimized customer experience, which is speed, personalization, convenience. Make it faster, make it more convenient, make it more personalized. So this is the and when your last part of the session today, which is that now we know the triangle, the CTX triangle. With using that triangle, we always anticipate, communicate, and build the relationship. This is how you deliver a great service. I'll just leave. This is a very I'm just going to leave a few questions that I would want you to think over, because these are important from a experience point of view. Anticipate. Now you, in the CTX triangle, you know your customer. What is it that answer these three questions? That do you know these three things about your customers? If you've got 150 customers, then maybe not all of them, but your top key customers, the key customers who are making a difference to your business, your customers who are contributing a major chunk to your business. Those are the customers. Segment those customers and answer these questions for the top level of customers. Maybe not the ones who are the smallest if you have a large number of customers, but if you're someone who's starting out in the business, I would recommend that do this for every customer, because there is no better way than starting out right. The more you understand the new age customer, the more you are able to delight and serve that customer. But for that, you will have to anticipate. To anticipate, you have to first understand what is his goal, what are his priorities and challenges, and what are his values. This is very important. Now comes these are 4 questions that you need to ask, like, what are your best recent service experience and why? Now, this is a question that you ask yourself, because this helps us deliver a great experience to the end customer. What was your own recent experience that you had as a customer which really wowed you, and why did you wow? In most cases, you will be able to connect that to the CTX triangle, and you will be able to connect it to the SPC. Either somebody made it really fast for you, or they made it very personalized for you, or they made it very convenient for you. And they would have known you, or they would have understood your what you really looked for, or what you really valued. They would have known that. And when you answer these 4 questions about that yourself, you will be able to evaluate the kind of service that you are delivering to your customers. And the last part of it is, which is communication. Whenever we are speaking to our customers, these are 4 things, which are 4 skills, which I call them. Rapport, clarity, consistency, engagement. Do not talk as if do not talk as if it is just a transaction. Talk in such a way to build rapport with the other person.
కంగారు
Rapport.
నేను తర్వాత హెల్ప్ చేస్తానండి. ఇది 1 గంట అయ్యేది. నాకు కొద్దిగా టైం ఇది.
So rapport is the first thing that you do when you want to start building a relationship with your customer. Clarity, absolutely, because Please remember the first slide that I spoke about, which is what does your customer want? He wants to be understood. And similarly, he wants to understand you. So give clarity and let the customer know that you are understanding them and let them know that you care about them. Consistency, do not change your word. Do not, I mean, of course, I don't have to tell you that trust in our business is built with consistency. When you display a consistent behavior over a period of time, leads to amazing trust. And lastly, engagement. Find small little ways that you can engage with customers. Find out those places where you can, the SPC, which is speed, personalization, convenience. Can you engage on any of these three things? Can you ask the customer? Can you ask them that, can I make something that can make this better for you? Take feedback. It's again connected to the customer journey mapping. When the customer journey mapping, we are optimizing all the steps of that, then that gives us a lot of information to engage with the customer. Say, for example, a customer gave you some feedback and you worked on that. And then that gives you an opportunity to go and talk to the customer about it and tell the customer that, see, sir, your feedback was very valuable. It was excellent. And I, managed to implement it in my own way. What do you think about it? There's nothing that feels of more value than feeling that my opinion was valued and my opinion was respected and my opinion was implemented. Try doing that with just one customer and you will find the difference with the customers. You'll find the difference in the relationship that you share with the customer. So that is the communication part of it. These are 3 points: anticipate and second. 4 things, last 4 things that I want to leave you here with, that always think long term and be your customer's coach, mentor, and advisor. Coach, a mentor, and an advisor in your field, which means that your customer trusts your opinion, trusts your thoughts on that, and trusts you enough to take your word. That's the important part of it. So that's the value that you're creating. These are 4 ways to create value, create extra mile value. Long term, be a coach, mentor, advisor. Third, innovate and add vitamin EXEXE, which is E into E into E, which is energy, enthusiasm, and engagement. Energy, enthusiasm, and engagement. Take my word, customers can feel that energy and that enthusiasm that you have, and that it rubs off on them. And that's the important thing about experiences. People feel them, people respond to that, and people reward you for that. That's the most important one. People reward you for that. That's the deal. And there is where I want to wrap the session up today and end it off with one single statement, one single line, that deliver great customer experiences, deliver great experiences for your clients, because that will make your clients your loyalists. They will make them bring more business to you. They will make them refer you, and they will become, over a longer period of time, they will become your brand advocates. They will become your fans. And that is a philosophy or a concept that is being used by brands across the world. Now, as I promised here, I'm going to share with you a story about a CA whom I work with, not for 1 or 2 years. I work with this person for the last 14 years. 14 years with this person. And this person, for me, is a classic example of using the SPC. Now, the speed, he knows, he understands me as an individual. He understands the business that my company and the association that I'm part of, what they bring to the table. And he knows that which are the things that I have high urgency of, which are the things that they can take some time. They know the difference. Number 2, they make it as convenient for me to work with them. I have a busy schedule and the ability to go and be there in person is limited, but they make sure that every single process, every single compliance is handled in a way which is most convenient for me. Personalization every time. And today, now, this going back to the previous slide about coach, mentor, advisor. Now, in fact, I have written about him as well on my LinkedIn handle also last month, that whenever I get stuck with any, where I need a thought, an opinion, the first person whose name that comes to my mind is Mr. Pai. Mr. Pai is the person that I'm talking about. Now, I just go meet up with him. We have a cup of coffee, and every single time he gives me unfiltered opinion, advice. And I know that if he doesn't know something, he will then connect me to the person who knows. And when something that he knows, I know that I can blindly trust his word. For me, he's a real-time example of someone who uses the CTX triangle to the perfect. He's understood me. He has known me as a customer. He's known all the journey points for me, that which are the points that is there. And then after that, he also creates a positive experience for me every time in these 14 years, that sometimes I've not met him for even 2 years at a stretch. That's happened. But after 2 years, when I go there and meet him across the table, that half an hour or 1 hour meeting that happens there, that meeting, the entire, he makes sure that I feel that the entire universe stops to exist, and the only important person for him is me sitting across. Even though I know that he's crazily busy, but that 40 minutes that he's blocked for me, he gives me his complete personalized attention. And that's why in these years, I have referred him to as many people that I can think of. I've even lost count of the people that I've not just referred, but literally stood a guarantee for his reliability as a person. I don't do that for too many people. In fact, I don't even have that many people I can count on my one hand to blindly give a guarantee of their services. He's one of those people. That's that kind of trust, that kind of belief, that comes only with a great experience. That doesn't come from transactions alone. That comes from building an experience with consistency and belief and trust. That's the story that I wanted to end today's session with. And thank you very much. And it's been great meeting you all and talking to you today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It is very highly emotional and very great experience shared with us. I'm very much thankful to you, sir. You have given excellent ideas and developments what you have in your life and you have achieved through your life difficulties, and very great presentation, and definitely will definitely help us all our chartered accountants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Gangaramji. Thank you very much.
Shall I think with the permission of the chair and other members, I would like to make a vote of thanks to the audience, sir, that it has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful webcast on designing the experiences for chartered accountants. Organized by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAI. On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAI, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, Sri Vinay Pushpakaran, for his enlightening session, and Dr. C.A. Anuj Goyal, sir, Chairman, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAI, and also C.A. Sri Priya Kumar, Vice Chairperson, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAI, for their active guidance. Sincere thanks to the event enablers from the Kakinada branch of SIRC of ICAI who enabled the webcast throughout. A wide round of applause and thanks to the organizer, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAI, our today's speaker, and also to our today's excellent speaker, Sri Vinay Pushpakaran, and other stakeholders made the webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all of you present here and helping us make this webcast a grand success. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for participating and giving us an excellent ideas to our members in this regard. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Murthy.
to wind up, sir. Thank you.
Recording stopped.